Good morning, subscribers, and welcome back. This is a quick little feedback video for my Year 13 students. We have, of course, for our trial exam, just been completing this past paper. So I've just made a little note as I've been marking your work, just of the general kind of areas in which you need to work on and seek to improve as we move towards the exams in 2021. So these are in no particular order. But first of all, I am going to deal with the data response section. So first of all, on the data response question, what I would say in terms of your answer is please try and get into your answer much more swiftly. There's no real need to kind of repeat the stem of the question and thereby use up 2 and 3 lines of your answer booklet. Just get right in there, straight in there with your answer. That would be the first point. Secondly, the particular paper that we looked at on this occasion was all to do with public goods and private goods. And so really important that you know the characteristics of public goods and private goods. They are non-rival, non-excludable in terms of the public, and of course in the private instance, rival and excludable. But really important that you know those and you know what they mean. With regard to some of your quantitative skills, so the calculations in this instance, you had to calculate the cost per student of a university place. Now, some of you found that quite challenging, and so I would therefore guide you to the Tutor to You quantitative skills course. That is a free course, and that will give you lots and lots of great practice on all of the different quantitative skills that you need for A-level economics. With regard to your diagrams, if you're going to include a diagram, make sure that there is a purpose to including it. So don't just include your diagram and then leave it at that and don't say anything about it. And probably at A level, there's no real point just including a diagram that simply shows an equilibrium position. You need to develop it more than that. With regard to your evaluation questions, so 2 big questions on the data response on evaluation, make sure that you answer in context. Make sure that you have that structure that we've talked about in the past, and again, you know, many of you did this really, really well. It was nice to see, but that introduction, then the on the one hand, so signposting to the examiner that you're about to start one side of the argument, finish that, then on the other hand, signpost to the examiner that you're about to finish that, and then of course your conclusion and your judgment. And in your judgment, try if possible to include some type of empirical evidence to support what you're saying, as opposed to just what is included within the case study material within the booklet. That will really help to set your work apart from your peers. So that would be everything on the data response side of things. Now let's move on and talk about the essays. So on the essays, the first thing I would say, and I've just spoken to one of your number with regard to this, it's so important, and I think I've emphasized this to you in the past, the importance of knowing your diagrams, but it's only when you start to do these diagrams under exam conditions that you really see how important that is. Because if you don't know them, then you're fumbling around and you're drawing multiple diagrams just to nail it. You really need to nail these first time, so really do work on your diagrams, practice drawing your diagrams. Don't forget our learned colleague Joseph Schumpeter, so one of the questions, the essay questions, there would have been a great opportunity there to just reference Schumpeter and profit, abnormal profit, research and development, all that sort of thing. So that's really important to remember. Again, when we're talking about that question about competition and competitive pressures, don't forget that there is an opportunity there to include reference to limit pricing. So that notion of reducing the price below your competitors in order to force your competitors out of the market, really important. What else was there? State versus private monopoly. So that was an interesting feature that some of you touched upon, so that whole notion of nationalised industry and privatised industries. Remember, we're talking about market systems in this particular essay, not market structures, so some of you are confusing the two, and again that cost you to kind of not nail the actual answer. And then as a final point, choose your essays wisely. People who choose the correct essay generally do really well, And if you
Mr.
don't,
Nicholas, come to reception.
it can
Thank
prove
you.
a little bit problematic. So yeah, the essay choice is really, really important. Okay, that's it guys. Bye for now.